shooting fans, it's me Richard Cooper with another airgun review, and today we're going to have a look at the Umarex Beretta M9A3. Now, you may have recently seen my video on the L1A1 SLR, and when I went in the shop to pick that up, it had been quite a long time since I bought myself another gun, and it had been on order for so long that I thought while I was there I'd pick up something else. And I'd been after this for a while, and they only had one, and it was in the MDE. So I ended up coming home with two guns, and I have to say that I've been pretty impressed with this one. So we're going to do the entire review outside today, I think, because it's a very nice day. I'm going to start off with a few little extras that I purchased. These are dead cheap. I just searched at eBay for airsoft accessories, and I got myself a dual mag holder and a paddle retention holder. This was a bit of a tight fit, but a few minutes with a heat gun and it soon stretched it out, so I'll be using these today. I also picked myself up a couple of spare magazines at the time of purchase, because I always think that that's a good investment for BB guns, more shooting, less reloading. And I am using for all the air tests today Umarex CO2 cartridges and Umarex steel BBs. So before we proceed with shooting and the review and stuff, I think I'll begin with one of the first things I realised about this gun was, because it's really got a heavy sort of slide and a heavy action, you do need to give it a bit of lubrication before you start to use it, otherwise it will sometimes not cycle. When it's well lubricated, it will in fact run really well. So we're just going to take it down, and to do that we are going to just hit this little I'm going to pull the slide back there, hold it open with the slide release lever, hit this little button on the side here, and then rotate the takedown lever, and then we can slide off the upper receiver, leaving the frame. And what I do is just put a bit of oil just down the rail like so. I'm also going to put a bit around this part here, moving bits, and then I'm just going to reassemble. And then wipe off the excess oil. And what that does is it gives us a much freer movement in the slide. I'll wipe as much of this off as I can because I don't want to get it any on me. So that'll save you a lot of time and effort when you first pick up this air gun. Make sure it's well lubricated. I am just using 3-in-1, but if you're going to lubricate anything around the seals area, then you probably want to use a silicone based oil. So without further ado, let's get on to the shooting part of the review. So the loading operation is pretty standard for this type of gun. Supplied Allen key. You do actually get an Allen key when you order each spare magazine as well. Remove the screw. I am going to just drop in a little drop of Pelgon oil on the tip of the CO2, and then the tricky bit is lining up the thread there we go. Now the Umarex CO2 cartridges do come with a lubricant actually in the gas, and that does assist in the maintenance and the longevity of your air guns. But from time to time, especially if you've had a period of not using your gun, you might want to just lube up those seals with just a drop of the Pelgan oil as well. I have to say, I don't normally do this, but I've been shooting this one more than average, I guess. And I'm just going to put a dab just on those seals there. I mean, again, I wouldn't normally do this, but just for the sake of how you maintain these, I think that's the best practice, really. So loading the BBs, it's fairly straightforward. Gonna pull down the magazine follower. I think I've already got a few BBs in this one, and then you can hook it to one side, and then notice there's a little hole there to accept BBs, and using the speed loader I'm going to pour these in, and then when I've got what I think is an appropriate amount, just release that spring. Oh, it's a bit difficult. Okay, and then that one's ready to go. Let's just do the other ones. How much easier is this than the SLR video? You've seen that one, you can see what a faff it is to load some of these air guns. This one's particularly easy. I'm just going to quickly 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, around about 15. I think the standard capacity on these is about 15, or between 15 and 17. So it's pretty true to real life. I actually find that I often will load them just below capacity, so around about 10 or 12. Just improves the gas, but because it's a lovely warm day and I'm using multiple magazines, the magazines have got time to recover. Right, okay, so first of all we're just going to focus on accuracy. We're going to focus on the target, and we'll start shooting, and we'll do 3 magazines from around about 6 meters, and then we'll move out a little bit further to around about 8 meters. So this is about 8 meters, and I was shooting from there. This is going to be a bit trickier because the sun is absolutely evil today. Missed. Missed. test it. So that's my 8-metre accuracy. Now I was adjusting my aim point just slightly to the left. I'm not sure whether it's my grip, probably. My grip is just tends to sort of favour things going over to the right hand side. So on this one I sort of aimed about here, and as you can see they're a bit more central now. Okay, so I've faffed around with trying to hit the target with the sun in my eyes for a bit, so I think I've come to the end of the gas. So we'll swap that out and then we'll do some more video. So what do we think then of this Umarex Beretta? Well, first of all, I'm going to say in terms of the build quality, it's absolutely spot on. Heavyweight metal construction, stippled grips, fully functioning controls and feel strippable, accessory rail if you want to mount a flashlight or laser, and it's even threaded to receive a 1/4 inch counterclockwise suppressor. And you can just get one of those airsoft MOX suppressors. You can even get them in the MDE matte dark earth colour if you want. Nice contrast with the black controls against the MDE. Front and rear sights are fixed, but the white dots on there are really easy to see, and it's quite a shootable gun. It's very heavyweight, operates exactly as you'd expect it to. Always, like I said before, magazines just drop out with a thumb of the magazine release catch. We've got the Beretta branding because it's an official licensed copy. We have got the Beretta markings on the top slide there. We have got, probably not everyone likes these sort of white writing on there. I guess you could get that off if you wanted to. Personally, not too much of a problem for me. The only thing that I've needed to do with this gun to make it really work effectively is just give it a really good lube up before use. Obviously I'm using Umarex CO2 cartridges, but I've used Crossman and other brands in the past and I've had no problems with any more other guns. It's definitely got a real premium feel to it. My only hesitation was the colour. It's not MDE, it's not everybody's cup of tea. I didn't purposefully get the MDE matching holster and mag pouches, but they're the only ones I could get that were, I thought, a reasonable price. But you know, serendipity and all that. Disassembly, as I've already explained, is really straightforward. I'm not going to remove all this kind of stuff when I'm outside because there are small parts and springs that could go everywhere. Certainly a very authentic, good piece of kit. Now we'll finish off with just saying I've never really been a fan of the Beretta. I think it's a bit ugly, but I'm going to say this has really grown on me. I did previously own a Taurus PT92, which is obviously a Beretta 92F copy. That's the only airgun that I've ever parted hands. That's sold it to a friend of mine, and it wasn't because it was no good, it was because I'm not super keen on the Berettas. But this, compared to the Taurus PT92 replica, this is streets ahead in terms of you know, the quality. The thing that sets them apart is on the PT92 the safety is down here, and it also was unreliable and didn't work. I will link to that review in the description. This has got the slide mounted safety, and obviously because it's got the threaded adapter, it does make it slightly longer than the standard Beretta. But overall it's a really nice piece, that, and obviously it's one of the few BB guns that's fully steel framed and steel upper, whereas a lot of the guns, things like the Smith & Wesson M&P40, the Heckler & Koch HK, what is it, HK 45 I want to say, and the Glock are obviously polymer lower with a steel upper frame. So this has got a much better sort of heavyweight feel in the hand. Anyway, I will finish off by just saying that operation and accuracy, it runs really well, no malfunctions to speak of, and accuracy certainly at 6 meters was really good. I wasn't taking too much care with aiming. Stepping out to 8 meters, still able to get most of them on the target. So I guess if you put some sort of aiming device like a laser on there, it's a shame it's not cut for a red dot optic. Some of the newer BB guns are from Umarex are coming out with pre-cut for optics, but you know, you can't have everything, and I think that that's really good value for money, realistic and fun airgun. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this review. Please drop me a subscriber. Loads of you watch the videos but don't necessarily drop subs, so it'd be lovely to have you subscribing. I am going to be dropping more airgun videos over the coming weeks. I've got 2 more to review, including Smith & Wesson M29 Dirty Harry revolver and the rather excellent Barra 1866 underlever cowboy rifle. And I've just posted the British Lee Enfield L1A1 SLR review for your personal edification. So if you want to just gently caress the subscribe button with whatever your favourite appendage is, and don't forget to click the notification bell so you get reminded of any updates. Thanks again for watching, and I look forward to seeing you on the next one. In the meantime, have fun and shoot safe.